I'm here with DraftKings contributor Geoff Ulrich, along with Rotowire's Paul Bruno and AJ Scholz. Guys, Vegas evened the series in overtime in Game 4. Now it's back to Sin City for Game 5. Offense has been tough to come by in this series. So would you consider captaining either goalie in the showdown contest tonight, Geoff? What do you think?
Oh, I mean, for sure. You can definitely consider captaining the goalies. I mean, I think both of them are on the table. It just depends, which side you're looking at. If I was going to captain one side, it would almost likely just eat the chalk and go with the Vegas goalie. I'm of the opinion you're going to see something similar to what we saw in Game 5 of the other series, though, here tonight. I think you're going to see some goals, and maybe not an 8-0 shutout win, but some goals from both sides. So I'm actually not that bullish on the goalies. I think I would rather go with one of the big offensive guns here and go against the grain a little bit. And again, we're talking about big GPPs, big contests. Everyone knows this series has been low scoring. Everybody's going to be thinking about the goalies. Why not go the other way, play for the shootout? I think we'll get at least one shootout game in this series, and I think it could easily come tonight. So give me a guy like Max Pacioretty, or give me a guy like Brendan Gallagher, perhaps, to be a bit of a dark horse on the other side for a captain.
Paul, you think we're finally going to see some goals tonight?
Just like I called it last night, I'm expecting a big win for the home side. If you go this route, pick the Vegas goalie, likely to be Robin Leonard, to get the win, and allowing 2 or fewer. Montreal will get a couple by him. I don't think he'll see a shutout tonight. Alternatively, the big names on the first line, like Geoff said, are my preferred choices. I'll take as a top skater, Mark Stone. He has been very quiet this series, and he's just too good to stay silent much longer. I think he leads the offense in a big way as the top line finally has a breakout performance tonight.
All right, AJ, talk to me. What do you think?
Well, I think Jeff's right with the big GPPs. You got to find something that's going to separate you from the rest of the pack here. For me, that's taking a guy who's been ice cold lately, and that's Jonathan Marchessault. It's definitely a longer shot option when you consider he's stuck in a 5-game goal drought. Look, he's registered just 5 shots over that stretch too. So, I mean, there's no floor to bolster you here. It's a boom or bust play. But if you look at his regular season splits, he's got 11 goals and 14 assists at home, well above his road numbers there. And I think getting back to Vegas will be the spark he needs to get out of this funk.
All right, guys, let's talk about value. Paul, where are you going to be looking to find value in this showdown?
I'm assuming you're talking about the showdown format on DK. For me, that's going to be Alex Tuch tonight, Jesse. He has 4 points in his last 6 games, much of it while playing lower in the lineup as opposed to the current first line role that you'll see tonight again. In the regular season, people forget that this guy averaged a goal every 3 games playing in second and third line roles, and that was not what he's going to be doing tonight. He's going to be getting the high leverage minutes, and he'll get to play with the big boys. He's certainly not priced like that among the top 6 forwards tonight for Vegas. So I think it's a great value play.
All right, AJ, value in this showdown. Where are you going?
Same as Paul. I like Alex Tuch here, but I'll give you one other option, and that's Nicholas Waugh at just 4K. Look, he's one of the guys that has produced offense so far in this series. He's got 2 goals, and that's only bested among the Knights by Alex Pietrangelo. So I look for him. Again, if you're playing in that 10K micro mini max over there on DK like I am, it's going to take some outside options like a Waugh or a Tuch to get you close to the top of that GPP. And so those are the 2 guys that I'll be targeting if you're on Vegas tonight.
Jeff, where are you looking for value?
Look, I regardless of what happens in this game, win or loss, I think Montreal will score a few goals. And I think that, the nice thing about the Canadiens lineup is, they have a bunch of guys, even in their bottom 6, that they can just show up on any given night and get like 4 shots on goal and a goal. And Joel Armia is one of those dudes who just seems to do that every 10 games or so. And he's getting solid minutes. He's a guy who plays special teams. So I think this is a game where you could see Joel Armia perhaps just show up and keep Montreal in it with a big goal. He's 4,200. He has been getting shots on goal too, at the very least. So even if this does turn out to be like a low scoring game and I'm dead wrong, he's probably going to produce for you anyways at that price. I really like targeting him here. I think Eric Stahl from the Canadiens is also in play at 2,800. So I like targeting those Montreal grinders tonight. I think at least one of them is probably going to show up and do something. Again, I am expecting a few more goals here tonight. I think it opens up a little bit, at least for one game. But I like Armia as my top play there for Montreal.
All right, Canadiens are big underdogs in this game 5, plus 206 on the money line. Considering that the series is tied, AJ, do you think Montreal should be getting better odds here?
I absolutely think they should be getting better odds. Obviously, I don't think they should be favored, but 206 is just so high Ultimately, I do think the Knights will come out on top in this one. And I'm not sold on taking the puck line here either. To give up a goal and a half to get just plus 123 doesn't feel like enough value to me. So ultimately, I think I'm going to avoid this one altogether. But if you're really interested in laying down a small bet here just to have some of the action, I think you got to look at the long shot, given that huge value. Look, I'm not betting my house on it. I think the Knights are going to win here, but $1 or $2 just in the chance that you hit it, why not?
Geoff, do you agree?
Oh, I mean, I'm definitely betting Montreal tonight, just so if they win, I can come on the show and bug Paul about it. But plus 206, man. I mean, look, if AJ and I like the Islanders at like plus 160, this series has legitimately been closer than the other one. I mean, I get it. It's Vegas. It's the Madhouse. It's Montreal. They don't have the top line scoring, but like this series there's no way Montreal should be plus 206 here. Carey Price and net, and I've talked about this before, like as soon as you rule out Carey Price, he decides to show up, and he's fuming after dropping that one in OT in the last game. I expect at the very least, even if there's some goals, this game is going to be close. Plus 206. Yeah, give me that on the money line. If you do like Vegas and you're just like, this guy's crazy, I think taking the -1 at minus 148 on the DraftKings Sportsbook is fine. Look, if they win by 1, you get a push, big deal. I think that's actually the line I would prefer if you're looking at Vegas, but I'll take out the underdog here. This is too big to pass up for me.
All right, Paul, where are you going?
Look, on the basis of what we've seen so far, that figure seems very high, even for a Habs hater like me, Jesse. That said, Vegas is in the same spot as Tampa was last night. I'm not saying I expect 8-0 again, but I do expect that Vegas win for much the same reasons. The better team will not lose now that they regained home ice advantage tonight. I'm sure my colleagues are happy to be on the Montreal side, but if they do, they'll be chasing the loser bet like they did last night. And you've all heard the notion of smart money, right? I avoid the money line entirely tonight, opting for the puck line, taking the home side, minus 1.5 to pay 123.
All right, game total is 5. Now, Geoff, you're going over here, right? You said you're seeing goals in this game.
Yeah, I like the over here, especially at 5. I mean, again, you have the push option just to get to 5, and at minus 134, that's fine. I just feel like, with a couple close games, and the other thing is, I mean, like Vegas's goalie situation, I know Leonard looked good in the last game, but it's been very up and down over the last little bit here. We really don't know what we're going to get. I mean, we're not even sure exactly who the starter is yet, unless I'm correct, unless they've announced Leonard. And if it is Leonard, that's fine, but he's been very streaky. So I think that you could see some goals here. Again, Vegas is going to be a madhouse. So maybe if I'm dead wrong and Montreal doesn't compete in this game, Vegas could just jump on Carey Price at the start of the game here, and we could see another like 6-7-0 kind of thing. So I think there's lots of routes to the over in this game. And again, it's mainly just a one-game thing here. This series has been very close, but I'm expecting at least for one night that there's going to be a few more goals on the board.
All right, Paul, what do you think? Is Geoff crazy, or are you going over too?
No, he's learning. He's coming a long way in these playoffs and learning my strategies. And I think we're in lockstep tonight. The Knights' top line has been really quiet for too long, Jesse. And I say that ends to me this evening. I think that's a big part of why we expect the over tonight, at least in my view. I think Montreal is going to chip in, like Geoff said, though. So this number will fall easier than it did in last night's Tampa Raw.
All right, where are we going, AJ?
Got to make it 3 for 3 here. I'm taking the over, but you guys know me. I don't play the push here unless I absolutely have to. I'll give up that extra goal and a half and get plus 128 here. As these guys have mentioned, there are a few Montreal guys that can contribute. I like Cole Caulfield or Tyler Toffoli, who if you're building your DFS lineups and you're on the Habs, those are two guys I absolutely would use. I think they chip in 1 or 2. The Knights go off and we see a big over. 5.5 will cover for sure, in my opinion.
All right. Finally, Paul, what is your favorite prop bet for the game tonight?
You know what? First, let me say, if Geoff would have bet my prop bets last night, you would have got one hell of a wedding present. Let me tell you. I've had very good luck in the postseason with goal scoring props tonight. I'll give you the following: William Karlsson plus 250, Mark Stone plus 250, and for Montreal, Nick Suzuki at plus 270. I think their key player that has to show up tonight to give them a chance. I say at least 2 of these guys are going to score this evening.
All right. What do we think, AJ?
Well, I talked off the top that I like Jonathan Marchessault to break out of the slump here, and you can get him plus 163. That's great value for a guy that is certainly capable of putting up multiple points. And I'm going to go even further on that. I won't go quite into the +2 goals. That's a little bit too much risk for me, but I'll do 2 or more points here at +375 for Marchessault. I think he's the play on their side.
All right, Geoff, your favorite prop bet for the game
Look,
tonight.
let's give Paul some credit. He absolutely nailed the props last night. It's true, the +2 points. I love the Marchessault call tonight. I really do. I think, again, he's a player. If we see some goals tonight, he will show up. I'm going to go to the other side and take bigger odds. I think Brendan Gallagher on the shots on goal prop, if you take over 2.5, again, he's averaging about 3 shots on goal over his last 7 games. He's playing a ton, and he's just a player who's, he's going to show up for Montreal in a do-or-die game. I like him to score a goal as well, though. You can get him at huge odds. This guy's gone 7 games without a goal. Again, about 21 shots over that period. Like, it's going to fall for him eventually. +325 to score a goal. If we like more goals here, I think this is a night where you can actually do that and target the Montreal Canadiens bigger odds. So Gallagher +325. Let's go for a goal tonight.